guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell from the video title, this is my fall makeup look inspired by Kylie Jenner. So it's focusing on big eyelashes, big lips, and bronze skin. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Bye guys.
Hey guys, so let's get started. So I've already primed my face with the Makeup Forever HD Microperfecting Primer. And for foundation, I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in light beige. This foundation is awesome. It is everything that people have said that it is. It really does blur your skin and make it look like your skin, but better. I'm using the e.l.f. powder brush to buff this in. And yes, it is a powder brush, but it really does give you an airbrush finish because it is so dense. So I really like this for applying my foundation. For concealer, I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear concealer in NW20, and I'm going to put this wherever I would like to highlight my face. This is probably my favorite concealer of all time. It is beautiful and it hides absolutely everything. Warning though, it is slightly drying, so if you are on the drier side, this probably isn't going to be the best concealer for you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my NYX Mineral Foundation Stick in Caramel to contour my face. I always go in with a cream contour before I set it with a powder, and that way it just stays a little bit longer. I do have a full in-depth contour foundation highlighting routine video, and I'll link that down below if you're interested. I'm using now the MAC Mineralized Skinfinish in Medium Plus just to get rid of any of the shine that's on my face because Kylie's looks are always super matte. Now it's time to bake. So first I tap underneath my eye just to make sure that the concealer is all blended in and that there aren't any creases. And then I take my beauty blender and I dip that into my Nye Banana Powder that I've been using recently. And I'm going to put that everywhere that I put concealer basically. So I'm going to put that underneath my eye, bridge of my nose, middle of my forehead, and just a little bit on top of my lip. And I'm gonna let this cook. I did add some as well underneath my cheekbones, and this will help to emphasize your contour. To contour, I'm going to use MAC's Baby Don't Go Pro Longwear Blush. To me, this isn't a blush that I would normally use. However, I do use it as a contour powder, because it does have that grayish taupey undertone. I've actually been reaching for this instead of my Kat Von D palette. I love this powder to contour. Getting a little hot in here, so I had to put my hair up. For bronzer, I'm using MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish in Give Me Sun. I can't say enough about this bronzer. It is my new favorite bronzer. It is beautiful. If you haven't tried this bronzer, please run to MAC right now and test it out. Oh, it's so good. Next, moving on to blush. This is NYX Cream Blush in Tea Rose. This is such a pretty color. There is no shimmer to it, so I really, really liked it for this look. Here, what I'm doing is I'm just going to dust away any of the parts that I was cooking or baking. just to make sure that there's no powder left on my face. Now to prep my eyes for eyeshadow, I'm using Painterly Paint Pot by MAC. I'm using this because it helps my eyeshadow stay on longer, as well as providing a blank base for my eyeshadows. So it's good if you have any redness on your eyelids or any veins that you want to cover up. These paint pots will do that for you. I'm going in with this peachy color from this BH Cosmetics matte shadow palette, and I'm using this to set the Painterly paint pot. The reason I do this is so that when we go in with other shadows, they just blend a little bit easier. For my crease color, I'm going back into that same palette and I'm taking this, it's kind of like an orangey brown color, and I'm going to use this as my transition shade. So I'm just using a big fluffy brush and I'm blending this into my crease. Going back to that same palette, I'm taking the shade that's directly beside the one that we just used for our crease. It's just a darker version, and I'm using this to add more depth to the crease. Unfortunately, there are no names on these shadows, so I apologize. This is the Cargo Cosmetics Shanghai Nights Eye Palette. This palette is beautiful. I love it. Anyway, so I'm going in with the color Ginger and I'm going to put this all over my lid. So from that same palette, I'm using this color called, Jin Mao, I think, maybe? I don't know. But I'm just using this color to deepen up the outer corner of my eye. And then I'm going to go in with this black shade called Nightlife and deepen up the outer corner even more. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking a blending brush and I am going back into that BH Cosmetics palette that we used first. And I'm going back into the first shadow that we used and making sure that all of the shadows that we put on our eyes are nicely blended together. Back to that Cargo Cosmetics palette, I'm taking the shade Lychee. It's a very pretty pink shimmer color. It's beautiful. And I'm going to put this on the inner corner of my eye as a highlight. So using this flat definer brush by Morphe, I'm not sure of the name of this brush or the number, but I'll leave it down below. I'm going back in with Nightlife and I'm using this along my lash line instead of eyeliner. I did end up going in with Maybelline Master Precise eyeliner pen because I did want to add a little bit of a wing, but the eyeshadow wasn't giving me the look that I wanted, so I had to swap it out for this. So now I'm going to tightline and I'm using this Wet n Wild eyeliner in black. This is terrifying to watch, so I'm going to speed it up. Here I'm going in with MAC's Chromographic pencil in NC15 and NW20. This is just a nude colored eyeliner, and I'm putting this in my waterline. And then I'm going in with the same flat definer brush that we used to eyeline with no extra product, and I'm putting this as close to my lower lash line as I can get it. Now I'm using the two shadows that we used for our crease, and I'm putting those underneath my lash line. Here I'm just coating my lashes with a mascara to prep them for falsies. So for false eyelashes, I'm using the Kiss lashes in number 11. They are very similar to Ardell Demi Wispies, and I did end up stacking them. Tip for stacking them would be to stack them before you put them on your eye. It's way easier. For lips, I'm using MAC's Whirl Lip Pencil to line my lips. I am overdrawing them slightly because, I mean, it is a Kylie Jenner inspired look, and I don't have her big lips. So you do what you got to do. For lipstick, I wasn't quite sure which one I wanted to use. I have MAC's Whirl and MAC's Kind of Sexy. So I am going in with Whirl. Don't worry, I didn't forget about my brows. I'm using Maybelline's Define-a-brow in medium brown. I do have a full eyebrow tutorial and I'll link it down below. Now to set my face, I'm using Makeup Forever's Mist and Fix. And I'm going to spray this all over my face and then the look is done. Thank you so much guys for watching. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.